A jury on Sunday found 3 members of an Afghan family in Canada guilty of murder. The parents and son were charged with killing 3 teenage sisters and another woman in a crime the judge described as cold-blooded and shameful. Prosecutors said the defendants allegedly killed the 3 teenage sisters because they dishonored the family by defying its disciplinarian rules on dress, dating, socializing, and use of the internet. The jury took 15 hours to find Mohammed Shafia, 58 years old, his wife Tuba, and their son Hamed, 21, each guilty of 4 counts of first-degree murder. The victims' bodies were found in June of 2009 in a car submerged in a canal in Kingston, Ontario, where the family had stopped for the night on their way home to Montreal from Niagara Falls. The prosecution alleged it was a case of premeditated murder, staged to look like an accident after it was carried out. Prosecutors said the defendants drowned their victims elsewhere on the site, placed their bodies in the car, and pushed it into the canal. The Ontario Superior Court judge said the evidence, including a recording of conversations between the husband and wife, clearly supported the conviction. First-degree murder carries an automatic life sentence with no chance of parole for 25 years.
In U.S. headlines, polls show Republican presidential candidate Mitt Romney well ahead of challenger Newt Gingrich in a run-up to Tuesday's primaries in Florida. The latest polls show Romney with 42% and Newt Gingrich slipping with 27%. In Naples, Florida, Romney told supporters that Newt Gingrich will face a hard time in the state. And during a campaign event in Lutz, Florida, Gingrich told his supporters that Romney will have a fierce challenge in trying to get a majority vote in the convention. The contest has become bitter and personal, with Gingrich casting himself as an insurgent candidate against Romney.
I think for each of us, if we fail somewhere, if we fail in a debate or we fail to get the support of people, it's time to look in the mirror. And my own view is the reason that Speaker Gingrich has been having a hard time in Florida is the people of Florida have watched the debates, have listened to the Speaker, have listened to the other candidates, and have said, you know what, Mitt Romney's the guy we're going to support.
The most significant thing in both the polls this morning is that when you add the 2 conservatives together, we clearly beat Romney. And I think Romney's got a very real challenge in trying to get a majority at the convention.
At least 10 people have been killed in a multi-vehicle car crash on a highway in the state of Florida. The pileup occurred before dawn on Sunday on Interstate 75 near Gainesville. At least 18 people were taken to the hospital. According to reports, a dozen cars and 6 tractor-trailers were involved, and some even burst into flames.
We had crashes that actually occurred on both the north and the southbound side of the interstate. In that area, the road kind of dips down. It's a low area. We had a mixture of fog and smoke that combined kind of laid into that area.
Covering Europe. French President Nicolas Sarkozy promises to increase the country's consumption tax to pay for a new measure. The move will also help lower high cost of labor and boosting job creation. Sarkozy says that the new tax revenue will be aimed at letting the state take over payment of some worker benefits. However, the polls show that Sarkozy's decision to raise the taxes will not be good for his popularity. Most polls show him trailing behind Socialist Party nominee.
First, the great credit rating agency Moody's, which is twice the size of Standard & Poor's, has confirmed France's AAA. So no, it means that this stagnation of Standard & Poor's had no more effect on France than it did in the United States.
Covering Latin America. Cuban President Raul Castro defended the one-party system in a speech at the conference of the ruling Communist Party. On Sunday, Mr. Castro said allowing other political parties would threaten Cuba's independence and the socialist system established by the 1959 revolution. He said it was necessary to promote more democracy and open debate within the Communist Party. He also reaffirmed plans to limit political terms to 10 years. Castro ruled out any change to the one-party system.
In Cuba, based on the experiences acquired during our lengthy struggle for independence and national sovereignty, we defend the one-party system before the game of demagogy and commodification of politics.
Covering Asia. The soldiers who attempted an uprising in Papua New Guinea last week officially surrendered their weapons to the country's civilian government. In return, the Deputy Prime Minister promised a general amnesty to the soldiers, but he did warn the soldiers from doing it again. The rebellion was part of a power struggle between the Prime Minister Peter O'Neill and former Prime Minister Michael Somare. Both claim the rightful leader of the South Pacific nation.
I think what happened yesterday was, we were very young, country, but we've come this far. I mean, it's a good and bad thing what happened yesterday, and we have to learn from our mistakes and what's happening. But this tug of war going on.
Covering Africa. Chinese Foreign Minister Yang Jiechi met with U.S. Deputy Secretary of State William Burns in Addis Ababa, Ethiopia, on the sidelines of the African Unit Summit. On Sunday, Yang said China-U.S. relations maintained the momentum of stable development with joint efforts from both countries in 2011. He said the year 2012 will be significant for the development of China-U.S. relations. William Burns said the U.S. attaches great importance to bilateral relations between the two countries. Burns also said the U.S. is willing to strengthen high-level exchanges and promote a variety of bilateral dialogues to maintain communication and cooperation with China.
Negotiations on an oil dispute between Sudan and South Sudan continue to no avail. South Sudan holds 3/4 of oil reserves, while the oil resources are deficient in north part of Sudan. Analysts say that the deadlock will first affect the two nations' economy and the daily lives of the common people. Last year, the inflation rate in Sudan reached 13%.
Coming up next, Bridges World News has your latest football update.
Downtown London holds a huge party for the Year of the Dragon. Stay with us.